Hi, it's Kathy from the Backyard Stamper, and today we're going to do a very simple card using stamps, ink, and paper, and a new set from the January to June mini catalog and called Cactus Cuties. Ever since the cactus medley, flowering cactus medley that we had, I am in love with cactuses now. So this card is a simple card, stamps, ink, and paper, and it's perfect for a beginner stamper. So we're going to use, our base is Evening Evergreen. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored and folded at 5 1/2. And our next paper for we are going to use 2 sheets of basic white, one for the inside and one for the outside. Now to do my table ledge so my cactuses are not floating in the air, I want to just use a scrap of paper to kind of mask off a line, and then I'm going to use smoky slate with my blending brush. And I don't want it too dark up near the top because I want my pots there to not pick up the gray. I want them to look like they're going to be on top of it. So you got to go light with the smoky slate at the top, and you can go heavier down here at the bottom. So give it a little bit of color, but the purpose is just so the pots are not floating in the air, and that's perfect. All right, so now I'm going to take my Stampin' Pierce mat to stamp with my photopolymer, and I'm going to do the Calypso Coral first. It's the one that's sitting towards the back, and I'm going to make sure it's still touching my countertop but pushed all the way to the back of it. Just hold that for a second and really let that ink get on there. And then I'm going to take my Pacific Point and stamp my container. I'm going to just overlap a little smidge of the corner. And hold that down. Oh, that looks good. All right, and then my last pot is going to be with smoky slate. And again, I'm coming forward just a smidge in front of that Calypso Coral pot. By setting the Calypso Coral pot towards the back, it creates the dimension, so everything's not just in a straight line. Okay, so my pots are done here. I'm going to set these aside. And bring in my cactus colors. So I have Evening Evergreen. When this color first came out, it's an in color this year. I wasn't sure because it's so dark, but I really love greens. So once I started using it, I really liked it. So this one's going to go right, because it's photopolymer, I can see I want it just at the top of the pot. And it's got a lot of surface there, so I just want to give it a second to transfer. Alrighty. Next, I am going to use Old Olive. And that one's going to be these 3 shoots or leaves. And again, I'm getting it right where it meets the pot. And that looks pretty good. And then my last one is this soft succulent, which I love this color. And I'm going to do my big guy here. And I'm going to give it a little buddy coming off of it. Looks so sweet. Okay, so now for my flowers, I have Melon Mambo. And what I did with these was initially I stamped, and I thought, well, that looks great. But how would I do that? Because it's gonna go and look all blobby with the it's going to look all blobby with the cactus behind it. So what I did was I stamped my flowers and cut just those 3. That's the only fussy cutting out of this whole card. So let me get my liquid glue. Just a dab. And even though I stamped that one, I'm going to just, I don't want to pop them up because I want this to be more of a simple card without a lot of doodads. And just the cut paper actually just gives it enough dimension. And now with that flower cut out, it's in front of the other cactus and it gives you your dimension. All right, and last we need our greeting, which I love this Just a Note. It's nice and bold and it really shows up. And I'm going to do that in Evening Evergreen right here at the top. There. All right, so that's our outside. I'm gonna, whoops, flip it over. See my boo-boo? I went too dark and then you could see the pots through it. So, but that's why I love our basic white cardstock, because even though I did that on the back, it doesn't bleed through. So you can use the reverse side for any mess ups. All right, mount that right on there. And I like having that, whoops, that flower just kind of poke off. It's not going to go past the edge, so it will still fit in the envelope, but it goes past the white, which I kind of like that. Okay, for the inside, let's take our second piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp, "Hope your day is on point." It's kind of a funny, humorous saying, just because. And I'm going to take my Calypso Coral pot here and stamp that down towards the bottom. And my Evening Evergreen. There. That's my inside, and use my Stamp and Seal. And I really like this adhesive because you don't need to just cover the whole area. I really did about 1 inch in the 4 corners and then in the center, and the adhesive is so good it will stay. There you go. That is our simple just a note card using the Cactus Cuties. Now, if you want to step it up to say something like this, let me show you how to do that. First, I still used my same dimensions, 4 1/4 by 11, scored and folded in half at 5 1/2. This time I took a layer of Calypso Coral, a skinny layer, and some of the designer series paper called In Good Taste, which is in our annual catalog. I used that kind of as a backsplash and the wood green color as my ledge or shelf. And then for this card, now I couldn't just stamp right down, so I fussy cut it all. And so let me show you what I did here. Okay, I'm going to just take my big cactus here, Evening Evergreen, and a piece of scrap paper. Stamp that guy out. And then just a quick little cutting. I always like to leave a little bit of white showing, but if I end up cutting a little close, it's okay. So I'm just going to it's pretty easy. It's curved, but it's pretty straightforward. Not really any ins and outs. Okay, let me just get this little piece here cleaned up. There. Alrighty. So for this piece, I'm going to, I have my ledge, I have my pot. I'm going to just use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I have some edge pieces here that I want to use up. And so I am going to just cross over so they're both on there. And let me add one more at the top of each of these little guys here. And we'll put that one down first because it's in the back. Okay. And then I did the same thing, cutting out the pot and the cactus. And I'm going to put that one slightly in front of it. And lastly, I have my pot here, and let me just cut some of those out. Sorry. And what I did was I left the leaf with a little bit of white on it so that I had like a gluing surface on that one. Oh, it stuck to my fingernail. All right, well, that paper wants to come off, so we're gonna take it off. Okay, and we'll put that one like right there. And I've cut my flowers. Lots of fussy cutting in this one, but that's what makes it a little extra special. And other than the flowers, there's really no in and out cutting. It's pretty straightforward cutting. Like that. There. And I need to have off here. Let me see here. Okay, let me just do that one just to finish that last cactus up. I thought I had one cut, but I guess I didn't. Alrighty, not too bad. And a dimensional on the back. And I'm just going to kind of tuck it in and lean it over. It kind of balances the whole thing. All right, now for the final piece here, I have a piece of scrap, and I'm going to do my just a note. And I'm going to put it this way. The thing I love most about the photopolymer is you can really see it when you're putting your words down. It just makes it a little bit easier to get things straight. And flag the end on that. And a couple of dimensionals for this one. And we're going to call it done. Oh, 2. Okay. And I'm just going to put that right at the top, like that. Now, clean up a little bit. Sorry. For the inside, same thing, but I did the shelf with the DSP, and I have these cut out, but they're just glued down. So we'll go ahead and put that, our inch in each corner. And there you go. You have a stepped up card and a stamps, ink, and paper card. There you have it. If you have any questions, please let me know. These will be featured on my blog tomorrow. Thanks, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.